Good morning, dosto. Welcome to सरल Sociology. The topic for today is modernity versus tradition. Modernity refers to the social, cultural, economic changes that arise from industrialization, urbanization, and globalization. It is characterized by scientific advancements, technological innovations, rationality, individualism, and a focus on progress and change. Modern societies prioritize efficiency, rational decision making, and the pursuit of personal freedoms and individual rights. On the other hand, tradition encompasses the long standing beliefs, customs, rituals, and practices that have been passed down through generations. These traditions often have deep cultural and religious roots and are closely tied to community identity, social cohesion, and the preservation of collective values and norms. Traditional societies place a strong emphasis on stability, continuity, and wisdom of the past. In India, the interplay between modernity and tradition is particularly fascinating due to the country's rich cultural diversity and complex social fabric. Let's see a few examples to illustrate this dynamic. The first example is the role of women. In addition to the growing presence of women in professional fields, modernity has also witnessed significant changes in women's roles within the family. Traditional gender norms assigned women the primary responsibility for domestic work and caregiving. However, with the influence of modern values, women are increasingly challenging these roles and seeking greater participation in decision making, asserting their agency in family matters, and advocating for gender equality within the household. Next example is caste system. While modernity has called for the dismantling of the caste system and the promotion of social equality, its impact on traditional caste-based divisions has been complex. On one hand, modern education, urbanization, and economic opportunities have enabled some individuals from lower caste to break the traditional limitations of the caste system and attain the upward social mobility. While on the other hand, caste-based discriminations and inequalities still persist, highlighting the ongoing struggle to fully eradicate traditional social hierarchies. Next is family structure. The shift from joint families to nuclear families exemplifies the influence of modernity on traditional family structures. In traditional Indian society, extended families living together and sharing resources were the norm. However, urbanization, employment opportunities, and changing notions of privacy and independence have led to the rise of nuclear families. This transition reflects the impact of modern lifestyles, individual aspirations, and economic factors on family arrangements and dynamics. Next is cultural practices. Traditional cultural practices and rituals continue to play a significant role in Indian society, coexisting with modern forms of expression. For example, classical Indian music and dance forms such as Hindustani and Carnatic music, Bharatnatyam, Kathak, and Odissi maintain their rich traditions while embracing contemporary elements and new interpretations. Similarly, traditional craft like block printing, pottery, and weaving have adapted to modern tastes and markets, blending age old techniques with contemporary designs. Next example of the dynamics between modernity and tradition is language and education. Language is a crucial aspect of cultural identity and tradition. While regional languages have deep historical roots, the spread of modern education and the dominance of English as a global language have led to a complex linguistic landscape in India. Many individuals, especially in urban areas, are bilingual or multilingual, navigating between traditional languages and English. for various purposes such as education, professional communication, or social interactions. Let's see the next example, and it is technology and communication. The advent of modern technology, particularly the widespread use of smartphones and social media, has transformed communication patterns in Indian society. While traditional forms of communication, such as face to face interactions and written letters, still hold value, digital platforms have become increasingly popular for connecting with others, sharing ideas, and expressing opinions. This blend of traditional and modern communication methods reflects the changing dynamics of social interaction and information dissemination. Next example is marriage and relationships. Traditional arranged marriages have coexisted with the rise of love marriages and the increasing emphasis on individual choice and compatibility. While arranged marriages are still prevalent, particularly in rural areas and conservative families, modern urban areas have witnessed a shift towards individuals having greater agency in choosing their life partners based on love, compatibility, and shared values. This highlights the tension between traditional practices and the desire for personal autonomy and romantic love. Next example is fashion and clothing. Traditional Indian attire such as saris, kurta pajamas, and dhotis coexist with modern Western inspired clothing styles. Many individuals, especially the younger generation, blend traditional and contemporary fashion by incorporating traditional textiles, patterns, or accessories into modern outfits. This fusion can be seen in the combination of traditional Indian garments like kurtas or lehengas with Western elements such as jackets, jeans, goggles, or sneakers. At the same time, designers have modernized traditional outfits like the saris or salwar kameez by introducing innovative cuts, patterns, and fabrics. Friends, the next example is religion and secularism. India is a diverse country with various religious traditions. The modern Indian state embraces secularism, ensuring equal rights and protection for all religions. However, tensions can arise between modern secular values and religious practices that may be perceived as regressive or discriminatory. For instance, debates around issues like religious conversion, women's rights within religious institutions, and religious symbols in public spaces reflects the ongoing negotiations between traditional religious practices and modern secular ideals. Next example is environmentalism and sustainability. Traditional ecological knowledge and sustainable practices rooted in local communities often clash with modern development and consumerist culture. Many indigenous communities have deep ecological wisdom and practices that promote a harmonious relationship with nature. The contemporary environmental movement seeks to integrate such traditional knowledge with modern scientific approaches to address ecological challenges, emphasizing the importance of sustainability and preserving traditional ecological practices. Let's see the next example, and it is education and modernization. The spread of modern education has had a transformative impact on Indian society. While traditional knowledge systems such as Gurukul style education or community based apprenticeships have historical significance, modern educational institutions and formal degrees have become the primary means of acquiring knowledge and professional qualifications. This transition represents a shift towards standardized education, individual merit, and the pursuit of specialized careers. At the same time, it reflects the influence of modernization on traditional modes of learning. Finally, in a nutshell, all above examples highlights the ongoing negotiation between modernity and tradition in various aspects of Indian society. They demonstrate how traditional practices and values are both preserved and transformed in response to the influences of modernization, urbanization, globalization, and individual aspirations.